Hey everyone, Gale Network here, and I wanted to share a little idea with you that I've been thinking of lately regarding The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess and its return on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. But it's a little bit different than what you're thinking because I was doing some math, crunching down some numbers, and looking at the time that took place between when the game originally released in 2006 on Wii and Nintendo GameCube and the Wii U HD version of it, and it was like, all right, 9 years and a few months. It's almost been that same 9 years and a few months between when the Wii U version of The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess came out and current day, January 2025. In fact, this July, the same amount of time will have passed. And that's kind of wild to think. So I'm thinking maybe Nintendo has been working behind the scenes, not on just a port of that Wii U build, but on a full, awesome, grand remake, and have that game come out this November as one of their big holiday titles. It's a little bit wishful thinking, but with so much time having passed from that Wii U build to now, I don't think just an HD port would be that significant anymore. Unless Nintendo's just like, you know what, we've been saving the HD port, we're going to have a couple of small quality of life features in it, and it will be used to fill in a small gap when Nintendo Switch is getting a little bit lower in terms of new releases over the next couple of years, and Nintendo Switch 2 could use a little bit of a jolt, and like, hey, if you want to play it in enhanced 4K, that will only be available on the Nintendo Switch 2, right, during some other kind of gap in the year, and that's it. Maybe it's a reduced price at that point because it's known that it is an older game. It is a port of a remaster, and when most games are $70 and some games are $60 at that point, perhaps that could be like a $50 Legend of Zelda game and do quite well. And the same goes for The Wind Waker. I have a comparable mindset on that, but this is about Twilight Princess because I think overall, more fans were more receptive of how the Wind Waker HD treatment was handled and how it looked like a better glow up than Twilight Princess. And, you know, having been at E3 2005, which is what I'm about to show you as a little treat for watching this video, is footage that I recorded from 20 years ago at E3 2005 in the booth of Nintendo's, particularly the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess booth, where we were inside Hyrule Castle, seeing Wolfling, seeing fish on the floor, seeing the Stalfos Knight from behind, seeing the Gale boomerang in Twilight Princess, and you'll see me from back then, probably in a couple of seconds. But anyhow, I was thinking about that game, thinking about how cool it was and how fantastic it was, and how it was such a good visual distinction between what Nintendo did the title prior, which was The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, which was a fantastic game, met with a lot of heat in the beginning when it was first shown off at Space World because of its art design, but I thought it was cool then, and it only got better when I played it, and I think it was a great choice, you know. And most people, I think, would agree in hindsight that it was. But Twilight Princess was the one that, like, oh, when we saw that at E3, there was nothing quite like it. And here we have two games in a row, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, that looked comparable. We had Echoes of Wisdom in between that was, all right, more akin to other older top-down Legend of Zelda games, of course, with, you know, polygons and having some 3D camera movement. So a little hybrid of old school and, you know, modern, but this would be that visual distinction. Big time. If it looked the way Nintendo showed off at E3 2011, their Legend of Zelda tech demo. That was another something that was amazing. And so much time has passed, and, you know, Nintendo Switch was a good amount stronger than Wii U. Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be way stronger than Nintendo Switch. So could we get Twilight Princess looking like that and then some? Maybe it's not cranked up to 11 and it's a Twilight Princess remake that's running on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. So it's not like totally from the ground up on NS2 taking full advantage of that power, but still significant enough that it looks a lot better on Nintendo Switch than it did on Wii U. And on Nintendo Switch 2 is that same experience in 4K, which is how I'm thinking like maybe Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is going to be handled. But anyhow, I could go on and on about the speculation of this, but there's nothing quite like a brand new Legend of Zelda game, you know? But I think we're a few years away from that. Heck, I still want a 30th anniversary edition, full-on grand remake of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which was my favorite game ever for a good 20 years until Breath of the Wild topped it finally. But yeah, maybe it's Twilight Princess's time to shine. Anyways, let me know what you think, and without further ado, please enjoy this video footage from E3 2005. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Awesome. Uscito a cambiarli. I don't right now, but the fish actually move on the ground. You guys gotta see this guy over here. Legend of Zelda gets a 10 out of 10. See any similarity? Make no mistake, Gale's in the game.